Hey everyone, and welcome to another Analyzing Historic Photographs episode. I'm Mike B, and I mean the first episode, even before it got out of its early release stage in Patreon, has resounding positive feedback. So I decided to A, have another excuse to play dress up for another video to anger all of you people that get upset about this. And B, I'm going to analyze a World War II photograph. I don't usually talk about World War II a lot because that's what everybody and their uncle talks about. It's like the most popular war because it was in the films and it was pretty recent and everybody knows somebody maybe that was in World War II. And it's this big conflict that everybody can relate to. And World War I and the rest of the conflicts often get overlooked. So that's why I usually avoid World War II. But I'm going to, analyze World War II photographs, Vietnam photographs, every different kind of conflict I can possibly find, or just historic photographs in general. I'm a military history kind of guy, so it'll be a lot of that, but I will do some civilian stuff. And just kind of give you my take of how I, when I first look at a photograph, this is what I do. I analyze this. I'm just going to talk out loud. I've seen this photograph before, just to kind of spoil it, but I like this photo a lot. So here it is. So this is a photograph from 1944 December or 1945 January. This is the Battle of the Bulge or the Hurtgen Forest. I don't know which one. I think it was the Battle of the Bulge. They're two different things. They were related and affected each other, but they were two technically different battles. So, albeit it's winter time in Europe, and this guy looks like... the reason I like this photo is because when you first look at it, this is the quintessential American in the suck. This is what an American soldier or Marine or whatever it looks like when they're just in the situation where they're like, yep, this is about as bad as we can get right here. Like, this absolutely sucks. So let's just look at this from a macro level really quick. We've got the Browning Model 1917 water-cooled machine gun mounted on what appears to be a Jeep. And the guy's got a helmet net on with a bunch of fresh snow. He's wearing a rubberized raincoat, which is actually a really smart thing for an outside layer at that point. Wool absorbs water, becomes very heavy, and then it freezes, although it does keep you warm. He's got the cigarette hanging out of his mouth, which is, no American soldier would be complete without having that hanging out there. He's got the, 10 o'clock shadow, basically. He's got half a beard. Jeep cap underneath the helmet, macro stuff. Now, micro stuff, I mean, you'd think it was obvious, but it's actually kind of a detail that a lot of people miss, is the windshield of the Jeep, the passenger side windshield, is either been shot out or broke somehow. Obviously, it's cold. It's going to be a little more brittle. The windshield wiper looks like it's down. Something got messed up. This is just not a good place to be. This photograph looks like an actual, lull shot, which is taken between lulls of combat and sporadic gunfire and stuff. But this picture just sums up winter misery, and it sums up that battle pretty well. The colorization is a fantastic one, and this to me represents the fighting spirit of the American soldier, especially in World War II. And it's still just kind of the same. You see pictures of people in Vietnam and even modern day conflicts. You still got the same kind of rough, tough, not looking the prettiest, but my God, you're effective. So we've got an M1 carbine ammo pouch on the left side of his pistol belt. He's got the 1936 suspenders on. Not much else I can clearly make out, possibly another pouch or a bayonet or something. And he's got this water-cooled machine gun, which they used through the Korean War, actually. They're actually a fantastic sustained fire and cyclic fire machine gun because they can be cool with water instead of having to rely on air. In this case, probably that jacket isn't all the way full or it would freeze and crack the jacket. If there's any water in there, I'd be surprised at this point. Doesn't have it hooked up to anything. So he's got the rear elevation ramp up, which means he's expecting to use it at some point. But in the current state of the gun, it's not going to cycle. As you can see, the snow and the ice are preventing the rounds from being able to go in there, which is probably what he's doing right now, is trying to get the feed tray cover up and, try to get this thing to where it to be functional. It might have just stopped snowing in the picture. We don't know. But nonetheless, overall miserable, cold suck. But this guy's persevering through it and maintaining his weapon like he should be. It's just this battered, worn down GI that is still going to push forward and take the fight to the enemy. So that's kind of what this picture represents to me. And it's there's not a lot of it, not a lot else going on, but this to me is one of those photos that is the quintessential representation of an American soldier from any time period, but this is very specifically 1944-45 winter. So anyway, that's really all I've got on this one. It's a really cool picture, and again, whoever did the colorization did a fantastic job. I don't know, there's no watermark on it, so I can't give you credit, but this is a really good colorization. It looks like it was taken very recently, like they mostly do. Yeah, this video is going to be a little bit shorter because that's all I've really got. It's a pretty straightforward picture, but I like these ones that aren't necessarily posed. You know, they didn't take a long time to pose. You see a lot more of these candid shots in the Second World War due to advancements in photography, equipment, and just, you know, the situation in general. And then you do in the First World War, where most of the pictures, about 95% respectively, that's just my opinion, were posed because of the camera technology and just the situation that they were in. So that's all I've got on this. Let me know what you guys think, if you like this photograph. And if you like this series, like people did on the first episode, let me know and I'll keep making these. These are very easy videos for me to make. Not a lot of effort is required for me to make them, but I still want them to be entertaining and I still want you guys to get something out of it. Because a lot of people, I've gotten some comments already from people that are educators. Younger people just don't do the same kind of analysis when they look at a photograph. They just go, soldier, gun. That's it. And that's all they see and they move on. Maybe they can tell it's an American soldier because of the helmet and the gear. But it's like you really want to, when you look at a historic photograph, it's not just about seeing the what's right in front of you, right? That's easy. You can do that with any photograph. It's picking apart all of these things, like the ammo box. You know, it's got the caliber 30, M2, blah, 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 munitions box. And then he's got the lid off, which is pretty cool. He's got it mounted onto that pintle mount on the Jeep. So, yeah, just things like that are very, very cool to, you know, and I forgot that he's probably got something underneath his Jeep cap, too, for his neck to keep that warm, tied around his neck. See, you notice more and more things as you look at details. So hopefully this helps you out. Hopefully it was entertaining. If you want to keep the channel content coming and all that stuff, I do self-fund and I like crowdfunding. I don't want to become a corporate shill. That's going to be a goal of mine, is to just, you know, be crowd and self-funded only, so I don't have to sit there and make ads about stuff that I may not 100% like. I'll still do reviews if companies want to send me stuff to review. That's a different story. But, you know, as far as this video is brought to you by this. I say this video is brought to you by our sponsors, my Patreon supporters and channel members. $5 a month or more on either platform gets you into my Discord server, which is a really fun time. There's a lot of people on there. And your funding actually really does help out. It's not just, you know, I'm not just going to pocket your stuff. I've gotten, if you haven't noticed, in the past year or so, if you've been subscribed for a long time, I've been able to do a lot more cool content that has been asked for years, but monetary restrictions were preventing me from doing so. Well, that's different now because I've got a lot of crowdfunding. So a lot of progress has been made on that front, and there's going to be some awesome content this year with ballistic tests, shooting videos, etc. So that's a great way to support the channel financially, and it really does help me out, and it helps you out in the long run. So that's one option. And then if you can't support the channel financially, I totally get that. Just make sure you do what YouTube likes, like this video, subscribe if you have not already, and share this video out. Also comment, because the algorithm favors lots of comments. But yeah, so comment with what you think about this video. If you like this, if you learned something I may have missed in the photo, that's always going to be fun. I'm probably going to miss stuff all the time. But yeah, I want to kind of teach people how to do history, per se. I hate saying that, but you know, this is a part of it. So yeah, share this video out if you thought it was cool. That's about all I've got for this video, guys. Thank you for watching so much. I guess got a new series now that people really like, and we'll see you on the next episode.